What's up, everybody? Got a little story today that happened. So over the weekend, I had a plumbing heating company come to our property. We're in upstate New York here, so starting to get cold. So every year annually, we go and make sure that the furnace is in working order, things get cleaned, make sure all the tenants are going to have heat for the winter. So that way, December 31st, we don't have somebody saying, oh, I have no heat. So anyway, they come out, no big deal. Meet the guy there on Saturday. He's like, okay, I'm just going to do the cleaning. We may need a couple of little parts here and there. I'm like, okay, sounds good. Send me a quote if you need anything, and I'm going to take off. So I just got the quote. It's Monday morning, and get the quote, and it's like, I think they charge maybe $150, $200 or something like that to go out and do the servicing for a commercial boiler, and the quote is for like $825. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? So I'm like looking through it, and they're like, you need a new expansion tank, you need a new what do you call it, a pressure relief valve, and then a thermocouple and some other stuff. And I'm like, I thankfully, when I started out in this world, I didn't have the resources to be, I guess, willy-nilly with $800. And so, I think I did a lot of stuff myself. I was much more attuned to trying to save as much money as possible. So I happen to know that a thermocouple only costs maybe $10, $15. Expansion tank, I just looked it up, it's like $100. Pressure relief valves, maybe $15, $20. I'm like, so what's going on here? And also, why, after buying this building, I just bought this building back in June, the previous seller told me they just replaced the pressure relief valve. Why are we replacing it again inside of 9 months? This is a part that should last years, if not, maybe a decade, So called the company, and they've been apparently servicing this boiler for years now. They've had this account, and so I'm like, hey, if you don't mind, you guys have been servicing or this property for a few years now. Can you look back in your records and tell me when the last time you replaced our pressure relief valve? Because I seem to remember the seller telling me something about this. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, well, I can look. And she looks back, and it turns out the last time they replaced it was in March. So I'm like, okay, it's been 8 months, something like that, since you've replaced the pressure relief valve. This doesn't make any sense. Why are you replacing this again? This could be indicative of other problems with the furnace, boiler, whatever. I'd rather not be throwing money at this if we need to replace the whole thing. So just a quick shout out to everybody, trust but verify. Like, I think if the furnace needed $800 worth of work, okay, fine, we need to do that. But before just, signing off on things, I think this is something that gives me a little pause too, because I'm like, okay, like if we had a property management company, they may not have caught something like this because it's not their property. So yeah, just trying to, conserve cash, make sure that things, all add up. Trust but verify. It's like, I trust the company. I don't think they were trying to screw me, but at the same time, I don't know if they maybe looked into this as deeply as they probably could have or should have, just to make sure that there's no other larger issues at play here. So just a little word of wisdom from me today, and hope you're doing well.